From the station that's on your side, you're watching News 19 at 11.
Well, we are just less than 5 weeks away until the college football season kicks off, but the Gamecocks made their way back home today. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Kayla Bennett. Earlier today, the team reported to their first day of fall camp, geared up and ready to start the season. Tomorrow, they start practice, and Coach Muschamp talked earlier on what the team is working on for the upcoming season.
I think that we will be faster defensively this year, which we need to be. That doesn't always translate to physicality. You know, we had a little bit of a Southern Belle defense last year, reach out and touch someone. So, you know, we need to continue to be more physical in our organization, and certainly I don't know that speed always transfers to physicality.
We'll hear from more on that interview coming up a little later in sports. The Gamecocks will open the 2017 season in Charlotte on Saturday, September 2nd against the NC State Wolfpack. Game time is set for 3 o'clock at Bank of America Stadium.
Now, the Midland's most accurate forecast with
All right, thanks, Daniel. If you were affected by the October 2015 floods, the City of Columbia will be holding the second to last disaster recovery session tomorrow. You'll be able to get information on if you are eligible for help and what programs work best for you. The meeting is being held at Earlwood Park, located on Parkside Drive from 6 until 7:30. In Lexington County, a Swansea man has been arrested after he stabbed another man. He's 37-year-old Jacob Harley. Deputies say Harley drove to the victim's house, pepper sprayed him, and then stabbed him. The victim is expected to be okay. Harley is charged with attempted murder and bond has been denied. In Orangeburg County, the family of a man who burned to death last year when his tractor trailer collided with a gasoline tanker has won an $11 million settlement. 48-year-old Kenneth Avis was driving an 18-wheeler loaded with cardboard in the early hours of August 19th last year when he spotted the tanker and slammed on the brakes. The collision caused both trucks to burst into flames. The lawsuit alleged the tanker's driver was not properly trained and high on drugs. It also says the driver was trying to back up onto an intersecting road. In Richland County, deputies continue to investigate the fatal shooting of a husband and wife on Park Lane Road Thursday night. The victims were identified as 40-year-old Aaron Collins and 46-year-old Sydney Collins. The Richland County coroner says they both died of gunshot wounds to the upper body. A motive for the shooting deaths has not been released. If you believe you have any information that can help, call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. The U.S. flexed its military muscle, reacting to North Korea launching a ballistic missile on Friday. Analysts say the missile had the range to hit Los Angeles, possibly Chicago, or even New York. Danielle Nottingham has details. Across Venezuela, dozens of polling places were empty as a silent protest against a vote to select a constitutional assembly that would give the government virtually unlimited powers. Meanwhile, in other parts of the city, clashes between the opposition party and security forces broke out. Authorities confirmed 3 deaths over the weekend, including the killing of a candidate to the assembly during a robbery. Meanwhile, back here in the Palmetto State, some of the Venezuelan community gathered at the State House for their own protest against the vote. Organizers say they might be thousands of miles away from their home country, but they want to show support for those who are opposing the vote.
We would like to just get, the prayers. Mainly like the prayer for our people because they are really suffering back home. We also want, and we are trying to just get the humanitarian aid, activated in the state of South Carolina. There are big cities around nationwide, and they are supporting our people.
This was just one of hundreds of rallies held across the U.S. President Donald Trump is looking for a fresh start with a new White House chief of staff, but he's still clinging to an old battle, refusing to give up on health care. Trump is hoping that retired General John Kelly can bring some order as his next chief of staff. Trump has tapped Kelly, the Homeland Security Secretary, to take over for Reince Priebus starting tomorrow. As he starts with a new chief of staff, Trump is continuing to push Republican senators on health care after their latest effort to pass legislation to overhaul Obamacare collapsed. Well, most kids have their paintings hung up on the refrigerator, but the items kids are painting for the Palmetto Health Foundation are going up for auction. News 19's Lana Harris explains what makes them so special.
WLTX.
Prisnor says all of the money received from the children's art will go to the Children's Hospital. Well, school is almost back in session, and thousands of kids and their families got to enjoy a back-to-school bash today. The Youth All-In Back-to-School Bash at Finley Park had live entertainment, college representatives, and free school supplies. The Richland County Sheriff's Department was also part of the event. Sheriff Leon Lott says this event is to celebrate all the children in the community.
We hear about kids when they make bad decisions too much. That's who tends to get the attention, and not a good kids. And today, it's a lot of good kids that we're here celebrating. That's what I love so much about it. It's all good kids today.
There were also performances by K4C Music and Anya Dixon. Well, still ahead on News 19, we are expecting thousands of visitors to watch the solar eclipse next month. But the Congaree National Park is providing a more unique viewing experience. Stay with us. Well, in just 3 weeks, South Carolina is expecting more than 1 million visitors to witness the eclipse. But some people will want to get a unique eclipse watching experience, and the Congaree National Park is doing just that.
Well, this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime event.
The great outdoors is going to be on full display when the total solar eclipse happens next month.
People who are coming out here, may not see another eclipse, pass through their area in their lifetime.
And while many people are trying to find the best viewing spot, there are some people who want to experience the eclipse a different way.
We're going to get some more nature enthusiasts, I think.
That's where the Congaree National Park comes in.
340. This is 320. We're expecting a lot of people who want to come out and kind of get a sense of what nature does during an eclipse.
Park rangers will be providing guided tours to the prime viewing locations in the park, but the tour will focus on a lot more than the eclipse.
You're going to get a much different experience. You're going to get a lot of the wildlife and the nature side of things.
John Manchester, a park ranger with Congaree, says as the sky darkens, the nocturnal animals will start coming out in the middle of the day.
We're going to start hearing owls, we'll see bats, a chance of seeing maybe bobcats and other nocturnal creatures might pop out because they're going to be a little bit confused.
And he says that's exactly what some visitors want to experience.
I mean, I did have someone call in, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to come out in the woods when the eclipse happened.
The total solar eclipse is only going to last 2.5 minutes. And whether you're watching it from an open parking lot or under a thick forest canopy, it'll be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for many.
For the middle of the day, it'll be pretty weird, but awesome.
The guided tours are already full, but there will be events going on all weekend for all ages. And we also want to remind you to join News 19 at the State Fairgrounds for the Total Eclipse Tailgate. We're encouraging you to park, bring some food, and enjoy entertainment and the view of the eclipse. Tickets will be $5 per car. There are more than 100 eclipse-related events in Columbia and around the Midlands that weekend. For a full list of events, head over to our website, WLTX.com. Dunkirk has topped the competition once more at the box office, beating newcomers The Emoji Movie and Atomic Blonde. Studio estimates the World War II film dropped 44% from its first weekend and brought in $28.1 million to take first place. Right behind was The Emoji Movie, which opened to $25.7 million. Girls Trip came in third, and the action pick Atomic Blonde debuted in fourth place with $18.6 million. So hopefully this week, if it's way too hot for you, you can definitely head to the movies. So what's the weather supposed to be like?
Yeah, hopefully you spent some time outside today because it was wonderful outside. Matter of fact, temperatures across the Midlands pretty pleasant right now. 90 degrees, low humidity levels. That's not bad for the end of July here.
No, I'm enjoying this low humidity levels.
We'll get outside and enjoy it tomorrow.
Exactly. Well, that's it for now, everyone. Have a great night.